Pay attention, creepy weirdo.
I would like a strong, powerful woman to protect me.
He'll fight for America.
Yep. Booby square. The Playable Characters Podcast. Hey, everybody. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Playable Characters
Podcast.
Yes, I am Brian McGinnis. Below
and
me,
I am Calvin Cato.
below me on this Zoom stream chat thing. This is our first one really doing quarantine style, everybody. I hope you enjoy it this way. It's weird for us.
Let us know how the sound quality is, because we are all podcasting remotely in this Brady Bunch style situation. So
it is a Brady Bunch style.
It is. It's very weird to do this.
It's all right. That's kind of what we got to do now. But hey, again, if you have any money left over, we have a Patreon. But don't worry about it. I'm not gonna ask anybody. Don't do that right now. But if you want to, we appreciate it. Patreon.com/playablepodcast. We're recording this on StreamYard for the first time.
Yes.
And we're gonna see how it goes.
So if you like it, this is a free advertisement for StreamYard, everybody. Yes. StreamYard, the Squarespace of 2020.
Yeah. Are you feeling okay, Calvin?
Yeah, actually, I haven't been sick at all. No symptoms, no nothing. It's just really boredom.
It's very boring. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? How are you doing?
I've been reading a lot of books, which is why we have our guest today. Let's just dive in. Our guest. Okay. Look, we love having dragons on, and we love having warriors and knights and ninjas and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But there are other people in these worlds that make these worlds go. That contribute to society more than you think, right? Behind the scenes people doing stuff, the essential workers, if you will, of their world. So we have with us today a very interesting guy from the land of Skyrim. We have a book publisher from Skyrim. Well, let's bring him in. Sir, how are you today?
I'm a little befuddled at the moment here. I'm
what's wrong?
Trapped here in a dungeon in Markarth.
Ooh,
I've gotten turned around.
Rough. You got turned around?
Dwarven dungeon. Yeah. I was here on a book tour promoting book for a local author, and they said, go down, put some books down there in the dungeon. And I don't know. These dungeons are, they're never ending. They're labyrinthian. They're never ending.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised there are book tours back in Skyrim days. Oh, that's interesting.
That's the only way to get your book out. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, like this right here, where I have a mage hook me up onto this StreamYard you have going on.
Correct. Yeah.
And who really just the out-of-pocket expenses for that is just crazy. So I'm all over Skyrim. I don't venture out of Skyrim. I'm not responsible for all of Tamriel, but I do Skyrim.
I figured that would just be one store that everybody just knows that's the bookstore. But you do book tours.
Oh, you'd be very wrong, Brian. There's many bookstores and many just random books and dungeons and caves for some reason.
Fortresses, hideouts, huts, burial crypts. We go everywhere.
You get a lot of bandits who read your books?
Great question. Yes, they just don't write them. I don't know if you're very familiar with Skyrim books. They're not very long. They're 7 to 10 pages at most.
I've noticed that. So what are the other 100 pages doing in there? Is that just like filler?
Aesthetics.
Big index.
Nobody wants a library full of comic books. You want big, thick books to show off in your burial crypt.
Now, there are a lot of books in caves. Is that a good place to read a book? I would guess no. Or burials. Like you said, the burial caves. That seems like it's too dark in there.
The way we think about it, if you're not venturing much out of your cave, you don't have a lot going on anyway. Who cares if your eyesight gets poor by reading a book by torchlight?
Yeah.
Maybe you have candlelight spell. You hold that above your head. And, you can only read for 10 seconds at a time. But
yeah.
What's your name, by the way? We didn't ask you your name, sir. I'm sorry.
Boy, what a bad promotional job.
We're so excited to have you.
I'm Florin Pindadox,
sure.
Imperial book publisher for a smaller house, not one of the big five. I work for Anal Red and Sons book publishing.
Anal Red?
Okay, nice.
Yeah, Anal Red. Set up by, his name was well earned. He is not a nice man.
Is he a giant baboon by any chance?
I'm sorry?
Is he a giant baboon by any chance?
He's an orc.
Okay.
Common mistake.
Yeah.
But, I kid. We're family. I kid.
Oh, that's good.
So how do you set up these tours? Do you like fast travel mainly, or is it really just a slow horse and carriage situation?
Another great question. in my beginning of my career in Skyrim, I couldn't fast travel just anywhere. I couldn't just say I wanted to promote a book in Dawnstar. I couldn't just go there had I not been there. So then you got to shell out of pocket, pay a carriage to get you there. And the first setup, this is the trick I learned later on. The first setup is you just get there and then you come right back. You fast travel right back. So now you have your locations. You have your hubs. You fast travel to the hub with the author in tow, hopefully, if they're doing it. I mean, getting a high elf to promote his own book, it doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah. They're very selfish and vain. Ugh.
They just think anybody should come to their books naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so you fast travel back and forth with the author in tow. And then we have to go to the out of the way reaches, Darkwater Crossing, Blind Man's Cave.
And how many pounds of books can you carry? Because, that's always such a tricky thing, too.
Yeah.
Or do you have like a house Carl with you? Like, how does that work?
House Carl's on loan. You best a man in a fight. Maybe they'll follow you around for a while. Maybe they swear an oath to you. But really, it's as much as I can dump on my assistants. That's what I refer to the House Carls as.
Yeah.
Me too, trust me.
Your assistants?
Yeah.
My assistants, yes.
Yeah.
They'll carry your burdens. They're very good at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what got you into this? I mean, there's a lot of different trades you could do in Skyrim. There's you think of some like the armor maker or the sword maker, the blacksmith, all that type of. What got you into the more intellectual side, I guess, of this world?
Well, I don't know if you've walked around Skyrim much.
Muddy.
The vocabulary is not extensive.
Sure.
People say the same 7 or 8 things to you all the time. And it's just, I wanted to try to let's get you. And it's, believe me, I embarked on this endeavor before realizing that 85% of this population is illiterate.
That's a big problem too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to try to expand vocabulary. Plus, I got my eye on the little guy. Like I said, we're not one of the big 5 publishers, but if you got a book about mythology, you got a book about history, maybe you even wrote a book about teaching spells.
Yeah.
I want to promote you and I want to get your name out there. That's
pretty cool. I would love this spell. I was talking to Calvin about magic. I love magic spells. I think it's so cool. What are some of the more popular books? Is it the stories that tell what happened in the past, or is it straight to the spells or things like that? What
fantastic question.
Thank you.
When we get off, and we have all different kinds of books. We have historical books, academic, dramas. We publish dramas, 7-act plays.
Wow.
And then we also have high sellers, which are the skill and spell books.
Yeah.
Spell books are great. This is great because once you read a spell book, it disappears and we can sell you that one again, or at least stock it again.
Well, true.
Skill books also help individual travelers level up in life. They get to, level up. They get to ascend and become a higher plane. So, I'm sorry, you said the bestsellers? Those are the bestsellers.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I got books that you'll find everywhere because I got to dump them. They're not our bestsellers.
Sure.
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but nobody cares about the story of Baron Zaya, the Legend of Red Eagle. I can't help but dump those off in dungeons and keeps.
Are those like the trashy, Fabio novels of our time, would you say?
No, that would be the lusty Argonian maid that you're talking about.
That sounds sexy.
Yeah. And I'm the one who coined the lusty part. They wanted to call it just the Argonian maid.
Yeah.
But I said, no. It doesn't sell.
Yeah.
You throw lusty in there, and now we know what's happening.
We know.
But what makes her so lusty? Is it the tail action or why?
Well, yeah, her name is Lift's Tail. So I think it's the naivete of a young maiden who she's not really going to need the dough. He's not talking about his dough needing to rise in that tale. He's not talking about his spear that needs to be polished.
Mm-hmm. It's so Shakespeare.
We all want to be that lusty Argonian maid and be so naive.
Now, you mentioned before that most of your customers, I guess, are illiterate. How have you got around that? Are there books learn to read? I guess does that make sense?
Okay. So Forsworn do not read books. Okay, they do not read. We've had several authors eaten when they've ventured into Forsworn territory.
Oh, interesting.
So we've come out with the Forsworn's Guide, kind of like an idiot's guide to anything. It's the Forsworn's Guide to smithing, to enchanting, that kind of stuff.
A lot of picture books, I guess, right? A lot of pictures.
Basically picture books written in blood. They're written in blood.
Sure.
They come with a Daedra heart, so there's a little bonus.
Yeah. What do we should raise our hand, Calvin, so we can see.
I know.
Do you like reading time? Do you like reading books when you're trying to kill time? Do you sit there on the back of your horse and just kind of pick one up and?
I've read all 338 of these books.
Wow.
About several thousand times.
Each? That's.
Have you tried?
They're only 4 pages, so it's not hard to read all.
I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I just doodle in the back of them.
Is that what it's for? Those remaining 100 pages?
Yeah. Picturesque landscapes, that kind of stuff, sketches.
So I have to ask, how are book sales during a civil war, basically? I mean, is that tough? You only sell to just, Stormcloaks versus someone else?
Yeah.
No.
Or do you try to remain neutral?
People think war is bad for business. Now, I'm an Imperial. However, I don't take sides. Boy. Yes, okay. But by race, I can't help it. I was born as Talos made me. But
me too.
I can't help it. War is good for business.
Hey, you sound like our president.
You play both sides. Stormcloaks want a different history than Imperials. I can sell them the same tale with different heroes.
You change the book covers, is it reversible book covers or something, and
that's it. And here's the thing: they're all authored by me. We have 7 pseudonymous authors. They're all my pen names.
Oh, so you're a writer too?
Yeah, these are my own books.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
I do bring along smaller authors.
Right.
People want to put journals, potion recipes. We consider those books as well. So I do handle those as well, but these are all books written by me.
Is it dangerous what you're doing? Because again, we had a dragon on about a year or two ago, Calvin. We had one of your dragons on. There's warriors everywhere. Is it dangerous what you do, or do people kind of let you do your thing? Remember, how armies they have the guy in the front with the drum that just says, "Don't kill me, I have a drum," and they kind of leave him alone. Is it kind of like you, where leave the book guy alone? Let's kill the soldiers.
Yes. The dragons is a sort of a new thing in this age, to be honest. They've just showed up. So this is a kind of a new thing I've had to deal with. But in the middle of a bunch of guards and
what a nuisance.
It's the best. Someone get an exterminator. They swarm around, they try to fight the dragon, and I just hold up books. And most of them think these are holy books that I'm praying or something, but no, it's just my way to get out of it's similar to the drum technique. Like
a swatting a gnat in a way, but also you kind of don't get me. This is a book. I'm just here to sell some goods. That's it.
Yeah. And plus, if I can throw several hundred copies of the History of Baron Zaya at it, I get rid of these guys. If you need to buy any, I got a good deal.
Okay.
Sure. What's in that book? They do 1 damage, so that's good.
What's in that book?
It's the History of Queen Baron Zaya. There's 7 volumes, and I wasn't on my best day then.
Okay. So let's talk about dragons. Have you met any Dragonborn?
Well, yeah, there's a few running around. And they're celebrities nowadays. So we're trying to get into audiobooks and
dangerous though.
Trying to get a Dragonborn to record an audiobook. They just shout everything, and we've gone through several engineers.
Because I've had that problem before where I'll accidentally shout into a town and I'll piss off a lot of guards.
Run up a bounty.
So it must be dangerous to open that book up and that suddenly you're thrust somewhere else or you turn invisible. It seems dangerous.
Yes. Or all the animals just kind of fall asleep. It can be trouble getting a Dragonborn to read an audiobook.
How do you record? Do you have the technology to how does someone else play back the book, or does a person actually go to their house and scream the book to them?
No, I'm traveling everywhere with these. So you get a soul gem, you hook it up with a mage. You have a limited time as it runs down. They have to get the whole book, but again, there are only 4 to 7 pages. So you get the soul gem. So we went up to High Hrothgar, home of the Greybeards. It's monks who've taken a vow of silence.
Yeah. That's 7,000 steps though. That's a lot of cardio.
I went through several assistants getting up there. Because we want to do some special ASMR recordings. So I got the Greybeards, monks with a vow of silence, to do these ASMR recordings. And
they just moan the whole time.
Selling pretty well, though. Pretty well.
It's very calming, I bet, Yeah.
Yeah.
You should try to go the opposite way. Maybe get some dragons to just scream the whole time. Maybe do dragon SMR. I don't know what that would be. But maybe people like that. Maybe people like that sound too. Never know.
Well, we've done that. They're interactive. You open up the book and flames just shoot out, or frost comes right out.
Hope there's a warning. That's not safe.
Yeah, no, I'm several lawsuits pending.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh boy.
For you, yours might just bleed as well. If you open a book and a dragon screams at you.
Plus, they're heavy. You have a book made of dragon scale, dragon book. You can only carry one of those around.
Ah, okay. But you got to sell that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always wondered about that. Why are those so heavy?
Hey, you ever picked up a dragon?
But it's a dragon scale, you know.
Never ask a dragon how much they weigh. I learned that the hard way. Never ask a dragon.
Yeah.
Or are they also sensitive about their weight?
They're sensitive about everything. They're touchy as shit.
He was actually when he was here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
We had Spyro. Spyro was going through a little bit. He was a little sensitive.
If everybody attacked you everywhere you went, wouldn't you? I mean, I would be a little touchy too.
Holy shit, that's a great point.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it that way.
Maybe they just want to help people, but they're just always getting bows and arrows flung at them and catapults with like flaming rocks and boulders. You know, they just want to hang out.
Yeah.
Their bodies are stripped. Their souls are absorbed by the Dragonborn. I mean, there's no respect even after they perish.
Yeah. Have you written a book? Have you ghost written a book for a dragon, or have you gotten like one of their stories down on print?
That's a great question, and I'm so glad you said ghost written, because you drink a filter of Phantom.
Wow.
That way you go ethereal
names.
for 30 seconds, and it's really the only way you can be in the same room as a dragon. Because again. And you know, it's not their fault, but they aren't pleasant to be around. They have an odor of brimstone and bone meal.
Yeah, all that just making burnt flesh, probably.
Yeah, it's not polite.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I never thought that. Maybe dragons just want to have fun.
That's true.
But they're always people always trying to fight them.
Hold on, that's a great title for a book. Dragons just want to have fun.
You can use that. Give me 5%. That's all I want.
Okay, I'm thinking a line of dragon vacation books where they can just get out of Skyrim.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's hostile to them here.
Yeah.
Go to the Somerset Isles. You know, maybe see life out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. They do need to explore a bit.
They're either flying or locked them, or they're just buried in a cave themselves, right? So they don't really socialize much.
No, they got time to read.
Plenty of time. Can they read? Can they read?
Yeah. Great question. We never actually got to that point because I had to get out as soon as the potion wear off.
Yeah. Okay. Hope they can. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Have you tried written books for any of the giants?
Oh, yeah. Boy, that did not go well. I don't know if you've ever seen what happens to a house, Carl, when they get in range of a giant stick. I mean, I've seen several. They haven't even landed yet. They just get whacked, fly up to the sky, especially Khajiit. Khajiit, you would think they would land on their feet when they land, being cat people. So I'm not even going to try with giants anymore. You know, I like the mammoth cheese. I enjoy their cuisine, but I can't even try with them anymore.
Yeah, I am part giant. We figured out, but
we
we have a bit of a temper. But yeah, I guess that would be. You have so many interesting characters. Like, where do you start? Like, like you said, we can do dragons. You can do giants. Like, there's so many people you can go to get the story from. I guess.
First off, to make a book for a giant, I don't have that much paper. I don't have that much bound leather. So
it's a lot of horses.
The cost, it's just not cost effective.
Yeah, that's true. They don't have a lot of money to spend anyway.
Right? Have you seen what
they
they
don't
wear?
have any money to spend, actually.
Yeah.
No,
just
I know you're part giant, but a loincloth and a bone, that's not doing it.
No, it's not. So, what was your
I
question?
see that, and I think that's not a potential sale.
Right. You're a salesman. You know.
Right.
You know.
Gotta be.
Yeah. Do you and the other workers kind of, I don't know, work together sometimes? Like, hey, this is a good person to sell to over here, or go sell a sword here, go sell a book here, or whatever like that? Or is it just kind of like every man for himself in a way?
Right now, it's pretty much every man for itself, because unless you're a really skilled trader, what we call a merchant class, you can't sell everything in every store. You have to go to specific stores. I've become a merchant. I leveled into merchant pretty fast, so I can sell my books anywhere.
Very cool.
And it's more pretty much about stocking books that I'm like the delivery bread guy. I'm there just to stock your library.
Okay.
So I don't really come in contact with armor salesmen or potion salesmen that much.
Who would you say buys most of the books? Is it just, the the mom sitting at home while her husband's off killing? Is it warriors like maybe when they have time to kill between battles? Who's your best customers?
Fantastic question. That would be wood elves.
Oh,
yeah, wood elves do nothing but sit out in the forest all day.
Yeah,
but they go through books like crazy.
Yeah.
And I like the literacy, but they really mostly just burn them for warmth because they don't have a shelter. They're not going to go after forestation. They are in tune with nature too much. So they see this disposable paper product as a bit of warmth. I got a nice sideline supplying books with extra copies of History of Baranzaya, where they just use them for fuel for their fires and cooking pits.
Well, you found a little workaround. That's interesting. So even though the books come from trees, right? But do the elves not know that? Is that why
they know it? But they figure that's already a dead tree. It's returning to nature this way.
So it's like they're composting.
Yeah, it's like a Viking funeral for a tree.
I like that.
Wow, I didn't think. Yeah.
And I'm just curious. Like, do you try selling to like the thieves guilds or the assassin guilds? And what's been your experience with them?
I'd be careful there.
Yeah, thieves guild. Every time I've made a delivery, it comes up missing. It's just anything that goes near Riften gets. I lose half my shipment or I lose the whole shipment. I've had to start running dummy runs where I run 3 loads, 2 full of copies of History of Baranzaya and 1 with the actual books I want to place.
Oh.
And it's just, it's drift. One of those 3 is going to get caught. I just got to chalk it up to a loss.
Try to throw them off your scent. Hopefully the right package gets to where it's
exactly. The Assassin's Guild, all they want to read about is poisons, how to kill people.
They're obsessed with poisons.
Yes, that's what the Assassin's Guild wants.
Yeah. We may have some assassins on next week. Wink, wink, by the way.
Yes.
Interesting. Wow.
So Nords only want to read about themselves. Nords just want to read about Nord history and Skyrim, Nord history in Skyrim, the Skyrim history of Nords. These are all separate titles of the same book.
I've noticed that a lot of the books are very Nord heavy.
Avoid the Nord that you sell back in the 80s.
Have you ever had to hire an assassin, or do you just in general not try to fight or kill anyone?
As like a guide or something? Or
I did.
Not guy.
I'm saying they can help you. Maybe
they got you to death.
I did have a small time author come to me, wanted to push pamphlets on which hideouts were best for smugglers, and again tried to stiff me on because we take an advance from the author to sell their book, and you what do? He knows all the hideouts. He knows I step in there and my throat slit. You hire an assassin from the Dark Brotherhood. And I'm just going to say, haven't had any problems with that author anymore.
Ooh, oh. Wink,
won't ask questions. There you go.
Yeah.
Less said, the better.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was looking up some books before, and there's 2 I wanted to ask you about. You mentioned one before, kind of about Baranzaya.
Yeah.
It's a she. She's a queen.
Queen right? Baranzaya, yes.
So she has 5 books called The Real Baranzaya, which reminds me of how people nowadays on Twitter do like The Real The Rock Johnson. Was there someone else trying to capture her fame, or is that why she went with the real part of in her book title, or what was that all about?
Yeah, there were a lot of alias books being written or about the fake Baranzaya. They even called them the faux Baranzaya. Wow. But she just wasn't having any of that and needed to separate herself a little bit more. Okay. So it was the real Baranzaya. She didn't write them. They're about her.
Oh, I got you. Right. Okay. So gotta make it clear. And there's one, the Red Book of Riddles, which I was upset it wasn't actually jokes. It was more like the thinking type of riddles. I was hoping it was just like knock jokes from Skyrim days. These
are what we call bucket books. These are for when you need to go sit on a bucket. You just need to kill some time.
I got plenty of those.
Some goof 'em up, some jackanapes in a book. That's what these are for.
I got you. Calvin,
what do you do for fun?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Have you had fun lately?
I like enchanting. I really, I don't know if you can tell your listeners, but I'm wearing really fine raiments.
You are, and they are glowing green. I noticed that.
Nice.
You've noticed, okay, because that's enchanted with a light armor spell. Yeah, because it is tough out here for an Imperial, and especially when I'm traveling into Stormcloak strongholds. I want to look good, but I also want to feel good, and by feeling good, I mean feel safe. And I mean, armored up
right now, so
yeah.
I know I am.
Oh, you are very fancy.
I am. I'm trying to just trying to fancy it up. We have an author here. We rarely get authors.
Did you learn the enchantment? Like, do you have magic in you? Were you born with it, or did you learn it from the books?
Fantastic question. Yeah. I had to learn it from the books, or travel with a certain mage who hits me with the spell, hits me with a soul gem. I visit an enchanting table, and I don't know if you've ever seen an enchanting tables. They are creepy as hell. All kind of runic symbols on there, skulls often. And you got to lay hands on it, enchant your clothes. And I just like to get right out of there. But it's just the power, imbuing myself with that power.
Could I enchant my clothes to fit better?
I think you can. I think we can come out with a book of enchantment for better living, style-wise.
Sometimes you buy something and you think it fits in the store, and you get it home, you're like, it doesn't really. Or, things happen 6 months down the road, you gain or lose weight. It's like, man, I like this shirt, but...
Yeah. We're doing a sideline on some of these books. They're enchantment filters. Okay. It's an enchantment that you learn how to make everybody see you through like a filtered lens. For 30 seconds, you look good. We call them first date enchantments.
Oh, sounds like an Instagram filter.
Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, we compare it to that.
But it wears off after 30 seconds, you say.
Yeah, so you have to go through a lot of them. Money with profit.
Oh, so can you take like 20 of them at once and have it last for a couple minutes?
No, it would be really powerful for 30 seconds.
Okay. You look like Bradley Cooper for 30 seconds then in his prime.
Yes, Bradley Cooper.
You think Bradley Cooper passed his prime?
He's still in his prime, isn't he? I'm trying to think for a first date. That's pretty quick, that 30 seconds. I wonder how could you make that the most effective 30 seconds if you look your best? Like what? I'm trying to think how that would work.
Well, you could do that and then just put a mask on really quick.
Sure.
I think they would. I think your date would notice. I don't know. Yeah.
You could look, or we can make it. See, that's the way these enchantments work. They're really powerful for 30 seconds, or they're very weak for longer period of time. Okay. So you could look like Bradley Cooper way past his prime,
right?
For an hour.
Better than most, I would guess.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So, what's the most dangerous thing that's happened to you when you had to slow travel? Like, did you run into any trolls or spriggans or
hag-ravens? Hag-ravens are the worst.
They sound terrible. Yeah.
Oh, they travel in pairs. They look. There's a movie called The Shining that I was told about, and there's a part where a young, beautiful woman turns into an old.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it does look like that.
Oh yeah.
So, that's what they look like, and the thing is, it's not scary. They nag. It's just like, why don't you print any books for me, for my generation?
More like a nag raven. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
You would find that joke in one of our bucket books.
Yes. Are there like cooking books? There's plenty of cooking books.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of those because people are always doing that. Grab this ingredient and this eyeball, and boom, you got a soup. Right?
We have tons of ingredient books for potions, for food, how to make horker loaf.
Oh, what's that?
All kinds of good stuff. Horker loaf?
Oh, it's good stuff. You should have some.
It's good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's in it?
Horker. Salt. And lavender. So
okay. So it's got a nice smell to it.
Yeah.
The lavender really brings out the yeast, in the hork.
One time I spilled a bottle of lavender potpourri. That was like the liquid kind all over my cat. He was sleeping. It was an accident.
Oh my God.
Done something and knocked it over. He was drenched and he smelled like lavender for about a month and a half.
A month and a half?
We couldn't get out of him. Yeah. We think it kind of fucked up his brain a little bit because it was just smells were just too much. Yeah, it was pretty funny looking back, but I felt bad.
There might have been like cat LSD for him. For life.
It was too much. So I think of lavender. I think of that immediately.
Oh my god,
Calvin, do you have a favorite book from Skyrim?
Usually, it's so funny. I actually was very into alchemy, so I spent a lot of time like cooking and testing potions and stuff. So I was always happy to find the books that either had recipes or like taught me like +1 alchemy.
Yeah,
that's the kind of person I am.
No, totally.
Well, there's many like you in Skyrim. We carry a lot of potion books. They're actually just one potion at a time.
Yeah.
Collect the whole set, right? You gotta keep buying them.
We haven't done a compendium of best potions yet, but that is something we're looking into. Best potions, to be a mage, to be a one-armed or one-handed warrior fighter, that kind of stuff.
I would definitely be into that. I would buy that book.
Me too. I am curious though, since you said you somehow watched The Shining, is there like Wi-Fi? Like, have you thought about like trying to get into like, maybe mage blogs?
Oh,
or vlogs?
I'm telling you, the amount of dark soul gems I'm going through right now just to be on with you guys.
We appreciate it.
It's not The Shining was just a one-time thing. Someone's like, gotta see this movie. We had a movie night in my village.
Nice.
So.
Okay.
And it was a weird pick for a whole village to watch together. A lot of people were like, "We're never doing movie night again," so that's kind of.
Maybe next time do like the Muppets Take Manhattan or something, something a little lighter.
Yeah, or like maybe like First Blood. Just get some action in there.
Not all the blood.
These are all great nominations.
Yeah, next time. We got to go soon, Florin. But what else do you want to tell us, real quick? Anything else you want to tell listeners, or even tell your people you live with about books in general, or what's coming down the pike or down the dirt road for you guys?
Well, I just want to say, now in these times of where people are scared to venture out right now because of this civil war that's going on in Skyrim, and support small, independent, local publishing houses. If you want books, support us. You don't have to go to the big five like Horker Collins or Random Hut. Simon and Schuster.
Right. No, yeah, right. Simon, is actually Simon and Schuster where you are?
Yeah.
Well, we know about Bradley Cooper. We know about Simon and Schuster.
Yeah. He has soul gems.
Support local. Anal Red and Sons Incorporated out of Falkreath. But we go anywhere. We deliver anywhere. We'll sell your book. And a lot of people say some of these histories, some of these things are boring. We have books that just chronicle a meeting that happened on a certain date. Yeah. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You live in a land where dragons have come back around. Cat people walk around. You can do potions and spells. Maybe your fiction is just the story of a boring meeting. Maybe that's grand fiction to you.
Look at that.
You just want to escape by being boring.
Yeah.
That's so poetic. I see why you're such a good author.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm going to start a series.
More salesman than author.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm going to start a series of what I have for breakfast and just write down a page each day.
Okay. You're giving me great ideas because I'm writing this down too. Breakfast. A page a day, breakfast. It's a cereal.
Oh my God. Look at this.
And for the ones who can't read and don't get that joke, it'll be weird for them. But still, for the 15% who can read, they'll be like, clever.
For that one bandit lord, he's going to love it.
Speaking of 15%, we're going to do 7% on the back end for you for the title.
Love it.
And then Calvin, you get whatever you want because I know you get free potions. How about that? We'll give you all the free potion recipes you want.
I'll take that. Listen, I need some root anyway, so I'll take some.
Good.
Pass lots of fight crabs. I'll be all set.
What would be the first potion you use on yourself? What would you do, Calvin?
Oh God. Well,
a get rich potion?
Yeah. A have money potion would be nice.
You just make
one more question.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, this would make sense to sell to these people. That sounds rude. But have you tried selling your books to any vampires?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Funny story. I go into a vampire's lair I got books about staying out of sunlight. I got books about eating human flesh. I got 101 recipes for blood cocktails.
Yeah.
Vampires, not readers. Not that they can't. No, you would think, right? Because vampire literature came from books. Yeah. They eschew all books, and they're an oral history people.
Oh, interesting.
And very chatty.
Very, very chatty.
Yeah.
You have to stare into their eyes, get enthralled, and then 3 days later you realize they've just told you about, their name. That's it. Very long-winded people.
Right. Like, I'm called Vlad the Impaler because they tell you a whole story about it.
Yeah, and they're immortal, so they have literally all the time in the world.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Hey, you want to play a quick game of those before we go?
I got nothing but time here in this dungeon.
Let's play a game of Red Dead Dead, everybody. So, Florin, this is a game. We're going to give you 3 video game characters. You're going to tell us who you want to wed, who you want to bed, and who you want dead. All right. And if you don't know, feel free to. I guess I don't know how we can look these up. Maybe I can show them this way. But this first one from the Kirby world and from Super Smash Brothers, one of my favorite characters. His name is Meta Knight. He looks like that. There we go.
Oh, okay.
He's got the cape. He's got the sword. He's short like Kirby, so he's a little ball, basically. But he flies, which is fun.
He has a sword. So you're familiar with swords?
Yes.
He's not technically a villain, Meta Knight, right, Calvin? I think
he's sort of like an anti-hero.
There you go. Anti-hero is a good way to explain it, but he's very cool. I like him. He's got the he looks like a knight. He's got the eyes, the glowing eyes inside the helmet, all that stuff. That's your first example. So you can tell us who you want to wed, who you want to bed, and who you want dead, by the way. This next one is from Street Fighter. I think it's one of Calvin's favorites from Street Fighter. The very lovely Laura, who doesn't.
Oh, yes. She's fine.
Explain Laura to us.
She's a Brazilian fighter who fights with electricity, like all Brazilians do, apparently. Yep. Yeah, she's cool. She knows capoeira. I don't know if you have capoeira in Skyrim, but it's pretty fun.
Is that the dance fighting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we have that.
There's that.
Every dance in Skyrim turns into a fight.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah, so she's got those cool moves. And then this next one from one of the most popular games in the world right now, which the remake just came out, Final Fantasy VII. Aeris, what was her last name, Calvin? Aeris Gainsborough. So she is. Explain Aeris. She's like one of the main characters.
She's a magical woman. She has a very long braid. She's very in touch with the earth. Not like, I don't know why I said it like that. She's in touch with the earth, air quotes. No, she's basically like a cetra, which is like kind of like like a mystical type person.
Yeah, she's magical. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's cool.
She knows magic. She has a rod, which not as cool as a sword, but you could do a lot with a rod.
Good. So those are your choices there, Florida. You got Meta Knight, Laura, Aeris, wed, bed, dead. What are your choices here?
Okay. I think we can take them in order.
Okay.
Am I doing all 3 of mine first, or are we going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, please. You're our guest.
So I'm placing my Amulet of Mara upon the last choice. The
Aeris.
Aeris.
So you're gonna wed her?
I think that's my wed.
Wed. Okay.
I think it's
betrothed.
She's beautiful, but plain Jane. She's in touch with Earth, meaning she would be good to be around, to be at home with. Seems like the kind of woman you could grow with.
Sure.
I think it's obvious. I'm going to bed the Brazilian capoeira fighter because the electricity. I mean, come on! Plus the dance moves, and she's got more curves than a racetrack. I mean, did you see her? And then dead. This is nothing against the guy, but it's purely for. Look at where his eyes are placed and where his hands are placed. He can't hold up a book. That is not a customer. I don't need kind like him.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Hey,
I don't think he's a reader, actually.
probably not. Are there like what we call in our world like nudie magazines? Do they have that in your world? And do you publish those ever?
Sure.
Oh.
They're called brown baggers. Same. I think the same concept. You guys got. We just put them in sacks of flour. Dump out the flour, put them in a sack. You open them up. We actually got a Miss Frost Eve because we're coming into Frost Eve, and we got Miss Frost Eve is a full 7-page dragon layout.
7 pages. Wow.
Yeah, and she shows all the tail.
Now, are they drawings or is it like? I guess you can take pictures where you have cameras. Or
we actually don't have cameras.
No.
But sometimes they come with a little soul gem that will give you a little image, a live image of. Those are for the harder core over 17 crowd.
It's like
because it's like taking a picture of them like right before they die. So isn't that a little like snuff filmy?
Yeah, that's why they're outlawed.
Kind of normal over there, I think. Yeah. It's like a 1-file flash drive. It's just one picture on it.
Life is cheap in Skyrim. What can I say?
Yeah, that's funny. Calvin, what are your choices here? What are your choices, Calvin?
This is tough.
Yeah,
but I feel bad. I would have to agree about Deading Meta Knight. I think that would be because it's hard. I get it. He can't really read. There's no good communication. He's a ball.
He's really small. He's pretty small. He's pretty small.
I didn't want to bring that into it, but I'm glad you mentioned it.
All balls matter. All balls matter, Calvin.
I mean, I have 2, and they matter, but that's it.
He's a ball with. How does a ball wear a cape? Have we figured that one out?
He's like a dream ball.
Yeah. He's got no neck though. Maybe they just like staple it into his head. I don't know.
Yeah. How do dreams work anyway? Sometimes you're in one place and then you teleport into like your high school classroom. Who knows? I don't ask anymore.
That's another title there. How do dreams work?
That is beautiful.
I just a poetic.
Accidentally, Calvin. Good job.
Thank you. I try.
All right. So poor Meta Knight, he's dead.
Yeah. Sorry. He's going to be dead. Actually, yeah, I think I would wed Eris. I think that she's great. She's very down to earth, natural. She can grow flowers. So I'm sure she can grow vegetables. At a time like this, we need vegetables since there's a grocery shortage. So that's useful. And she's a legitimately sweet person.
Yes.
So, I feel like we'd have a good time. And then, Brazilian capoeira electricity. That's going to be a wild ride. So,
yeah, you can't argue much with those. However, here's what I'm going to do. Let's get out of the way. Meta Knight, I'm sorry. Circumstantial in this case, you're going to die.
It's fair.
Yeah. I'll probably push him off the edge of a Smash tournament without his cape, so he just sinks to the bottom and just can't get up.
What if the medic saves him?
That's right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to wed Laura because I'm a terrible dancer, and I think if I spend enough time with her, it'll help. I think she'll teach me some moves. I can show up to the next wedding and just start doing some flips. Be like, "Whoa, what happened to McGinnis? When did he learn that?" I'd be like, "Check out my lady." And she'll be dancing with me. So I think for the dancing aspect, it'll be fun.
I love that at weddings you think that people are flipping around and not just doing the electric slide.
Hey, people flip, and I don't flip. I would like to flip. Plus, she wears great outfits. It'd be nice to have that around all the time, just hanging out. I'll bet Eris.
It's my wife you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, sweet and fun, and I'm not too crazy. It would be nice to have a nice, fun night with her, and maybe we can grow some fruit afterwards or whatever for the ride home. She can't use the rod though.
Oh, no rod?
No rod for me.
Spare the rod.
Yeah, spare the rod. So, Florin, wow, thank you for first of all coming this far to meet with us. This has been super fun.
I literally do not know where I'm at in this dungeon, so it's been my pleasure, fellas.
Can you cast like a torch? Can you find a torch, or can you cast a?
I had to dump it because I was carrying too much already.
Good luck getting out. Let us know if you need help. Hopefully, you can get out of there eventually. Thank you for joining us. Of course, be safe, and everybody else. Thank you for listening. I hope our first stream call went well. Streamcast, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Today's playable character is portrayed by comedian Corky Knievel. Please check out his movie-themed podcast called Dare Daniel.